This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Well, it is certainly something that can cripple us, put us in just a negative frame of mind. And many of us go through it all the time, sometimes more than others. I'm talking about depression. We're going to look at that today, potentially through a different lens. And that's with somebody who's created a wonderful ministry that has the keys to help us unlock the potential for the greatness that is within us. She's an author, she's a speaker, a coach, a pastor, and she's also our professional of the year. She's back with us. Forshia Ross joins us once again here on the program. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. And I have to say, I don't struggle with depression anymore. uh, I mean, we all have days where we're a bit discouraged. I think I mentioned that last time we were
Hmm.
on the program. But the devastating throes of depression and those that struggle with suicide, I've been there.
Hmm.
So I created an Overcoming Depression workshop through Keys of Hope. And actually, that's available online. I also do it in person. But yeah, I just wanted to reach out to those today that may be struggling with it and hopefully answer some questions or
Sure.
yeah.
I love the word that you used, discouraged,
Mm,
because it's a great description. Instead of using, and I'm not minimizing anything for anybody,
yeah.
there can be deep depression.
Hmm.
But, for those days that
Mm,
not the
mm,
best day,
yeah.
then we're all going to have them. You feel discouraged.
Mhm.
I want to share, if you want to reach out to us, instant feedback, steve@gmail.com. You can certainly buzz us up, 631-319-6275. Portia, what changed for you?
What changed for me? Well, my relationship with God. And I have shared before, but there may be new listeners that this happened to me after I made a commitment to turn my life over to God. And it was a very, an amazing transformation. So this happened to me probably less than 2 years later, where I had to be hospitalized in the mental ward. I was suicidal. I had lost weight. I couldn't eat. And I didn't know what was wrong with me. I'd really never struggled with depression through my life. But I mean, I had some traumatic background experiences, but not to the point where I had to be hospitalized. And so, gosh, Steve, I forgot your question, or did you have one?
What turned for you? What was
That's right.
that
My
turning point?
well, my relationship with God, because I'd had such a dynamic conversion, and there were so many miraculous confirmations of that I clung to that. And I mean, I was at a point of committing suicide, but I didn't know what was wrong. I didn't know how to get out of it. And so I was hospitalized, and I just kept reaching out to God, but also I realized that many that I would say of the faith community, they struggle with turning to medicine if they need it.
Mm.
And I have to say, Steve, that took a while for them to find something, but at the time, uh, that and God saved my life. It was the medicine that really helped turn things around. And
Do you think the
mm,
meds gave you clarity where maybe you could look in a different direction as opposed going down the depression rabbit hole and then giving you that moment of clarity? Maybe possibly that's where you found God.
no, well, I found God before that, so
Okay.
we'll be clear about that. Interesting that the doctor that was assigned to me, so to speak, was Christian. He was
Mm-hmm.
he was a believer. So he would leave my room perplexed and he'd say, "I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you." And I remember, this is interesting. I remember one day where I was just a puddle, crying uncontrollably, wanted to commit suicide, but knew that that wasn't the answer, of course. So I was fighting that. And he came into my room and he said, "We're trying to find a medicine that will help." But so far, nothing that they had tried had helped. Even out my emotions, because your emotions are just, over the top. And as he walked out the room, and this is in my book, by the way, he turns around and he says to me, and I'll never, never forget it. God did not create you to be destroyed. And I don't know, that just struck me. And all of a sudden, I realized that there was hope in this, that he didn't create me because you know he didn't want me to know that he loved me and he was going to help me. And that's what I want to tell people, that God's love is so amazing. And I was thinking this morning as I was praying about wanting to talk about this, because the Bible says that Jesus has touched our infirmities. In other words, he understands everything that we've been through. Uh, and he's experienced it without sin. He's touched on it. So I'm thinking, what about depression? Did Jesus experience
That's a
depression?
really,
Good question, isn't
it
it?
really is. You know
Well,
what? Press the pause button. I do believe we
okay.
have a call. Hi, can you hear
Oh,
us?
Yes. How are you?
I'm
This
very
is
well.
yes.
mm,
So this is like the time of the year, like most
mm,
people, like in like Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. So a lot of
mm,
people are dealing with seasonal depression right now, and
mhm.
I would like to know, what do you have advice for people?
Hmm.
My,
And
what's your name?
and honestly,
Mhm.
like since it's like the like the the day of the Christ born too as well. So this is like the time where like the Bible is
Mhm.
known
Yeah.
throughout the Bible. This is the season that the Bible is known.
Correct. Christmas is celebrated around the world, isn't it? My first thought, um, because my family doesn't live near me, they're scattered all over the US. So it can be a little bit lonely, even for me at Christmas. But this is the thing, grab a friend. I don't, it's very practical, but grab a friend, call a friend, and go do something and get your mind off of it, because I believe we've all been surrounded by friends. The interesting thing is, don't isolate yourself during this time. Don't isolate yourself. And the fact that you mentioned that Christmas is a celebration of his birth, and I was thinking this morning as I was praying about this, did Jesus ever get depressed? And I immediately thought of the Garden of Gethsemane. When he knew he was going to go to the cross and be crucified, he even asked his disciples, pray, pray for me, pray. And they all fell asleep. It's like even his his disciples couldn't stay awake to pray. But it says when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane that he was so distraught, he actually sweat drops of blood. And scientifically, that can happen actually in stress. But he, of course, he said, nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done. You can't tell me that he wasn't at the deepest depths of depression at that time.
Mm.
Because I mean, I can never compare it to Jesus, but I know when I was in the hospital ward, when I really wanted to give up, I'd been there probably a week. I remember that day I had decided I couldn't handle it anymore, and I was going to find a way to take my life. If you want to find a way to take your life in the mental ward, you can do it. There's a way. And that's where Jesus Christ came into my hospital room and touched me. And so I would say to you, even during this time, if you're experiencing loneliness or that, ask the Lord to touch you. Often he does it through people. But that's the thing that comes to me to share with you.
I've heard similar stories, Forshia, of
Mhm.
people being challenged and going through a tough time, and then felt a presence.
Yes.
And the right time, right place.
Yeah.
A lot of stories like that.
Yeah.
The other thing I've heard before and experienced that, we have these view of holidays,
Mm. Yes.
and we think of the past, the way they were,
Yeah.
even as a kid.
Yeah.
We're different now.
We
Life
grow up, don't
changes.
we?
Well, we grow up, but life
Yeah.
like, go through changes, family
Yeah.
changes, and all of that. And somebody said to me, don't put so much emphasis
Mm.
on it's just
Mhm.
a day.
Mm.
It's just a day. And we have these expectations that we put on it.
That's right. You're right.
And then we don't hit
Yeah,
those expectations,
that's
but
right.
the expectations are based on the
Right.
past. The past is not here anymore.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
now is here. So
Yeah.
look at it in the now. And like you said, reach out to a friend or
Yeah.
a shelter and help others, a kitchen and serve food. I know
That's
it sounds
true.
ridiculous,
No, it doesn't.
but but try it.
Yeah. Get your mind off of yourself is
Off of
really,
yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
give. I just had a birthday and haven't been able to do it this week. Don't ask me how old I am. I'm not going to tell you.
Well,
But
happy birthday.
anyway, thank you. Uh, but I started a tradition, a personal tradition where every birthday I take someone out, a friend of mine out to lunch and buy them lunch. And sometimes they'll, say, "Oh, no, no, I should be buying you lunch because it's your birthday." But it's so wonderful to do that. It takes your
Wow.
mind off of yourself, and that's a good idea. It
Wow.
absolutely
I
is.
love that.
You like that?
That's, and so many say that when you volunteer or
Mm.
do something for others,
Yeah,
it comes back to you
yeah,
times 10. Like you just
yeah,
feel so
yeah,
full
yeah.
after doing that.
It's better to give than to receive, as
Well, I don't want to, use
we've
the old
always heard. I know it's a
cliches,
cliche, but
but it's true.
it is true. It is true.
Hmm.
So,
For you,
mm,
giving it perspective to others,
mm,
and I say this often,
Yes.
Somebody's on the fence. They want to
Mm.
believe in God or a God.
Mhm.
They're just not there.
Mhm.
How do they get it? And even in moments of,
Yeah.
you know, even call
Yeah.
it desperation, discouragement,
Mhm.
you're down in the dumps,
Yeah.
however you want to phrase it.
Mm.
How do we find I don't want to use the word strength, but just within us to take that next step to maybe feel something else?
The courage, you know,
Thank you.
instead of being discouraged, take
Ooh, look at that.
courage.
Look at you. That's good.
Write that down.
I
Sometimes I say,
you think I have post-it notes after post-it notes of little things, and this is just from today, by the way, and doing podcasts. And
oh, really?
oh
That's
yes,
good. Yeah, well,
uh,
yeah.
and what do? I share it with myself, but I also share it with others.
Oh, oh, good. You know what? What have you got to lose? What
True.
have you got to lose? Jump off the fence. Try it.
Mm,
I've said this and I'll continue to say it. Um, if you want to know if he's real, ask him. Um, but God loves faith. See, we want to see everything. We want to know the future. We want to know all the details. It's true. I do too. But God loves faith. And I had shared last time about doubting, they call him Doubting Thomas.
hmm
Um, I feel bad that we call him Doubting Thomas. He must have felt enough courage to ask the questions. And he asked
mm,
the question, I'm not going to believe unless you show me. And Jesus was kind enough and
mm.
loving enough. And he loved Thomas so much. He said, I'm going to do what I need to do to get you into my kingdom. And so he showed him the nail prints in his hands and where the sword went in his side. And of course, Thomas fell down and believed and worshiped him. So I would say take courage and jump off the fence. Don't
Mm.
slide off of it, just jump. Straddling this fence, I get in this picture, could be very uncomfortable. Think about it. You got your one foot in and your one foot out,
Yeah.
It's time to take both feet and take a chance. I mean, what have you got to lose?
Well,
Oh,
maybe not be a doubting Thomas, maybe be a validating Valerie where you're looking for
yeah.
validation.
Oh,
So I'm
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
saying that
yeah.
this things don't exist around us, but
Mhm.
like you said, ask for proof.
Yes. And you know what I'm thinking too that God will do? He has a way of finding out what you need and filling that. For me, I needed to be accepted. I remember before I was introduced to the Lord, I wanted a friend. I didn't really have a friend. I wanted a girlfriend. I mean, we girls, we like girlfriends,
Hmm.
We got to have girlfriends. Can't go
Yep.
to the bathroom alone, right? In a
Right.
restaurant. I don't know why, but I haven't researched that. But it's true.
It's true.
It's true.
I've done my research. I don't have answers, but I've done my research.
You hadn't even had to do research. If you've ever been out on a date or
Mhm.
with couples. Oh,
Oh,
anyway,
yeah.
I lost my train of thought.
Well, you were looking for a friend.
Yes. And do you know, right after I took this plunge, um, all of a sudden I'm surrounded. It was in the church because I was introduced to, I knew, to go to church. All of a sudden, Steve, I had friends and I couldn't understand why they liked me so much because I didn't like myself a lot. And I remember one day I was praying. I said, Lord, I don't think I deserve all these friends. He said, no, you don't, but I love you so much, I'm going to give them to you anyway. but eventually, over the years, we learn to accept ourselves and how God created us, hopefully. And so,
Mm.
anyway,
Well, I mean, here we go with another cliche or
okay.
phrase, asking you shall receive. You asked, you received,
Uh,
you know?
What's been your latest question of God, Steve? Have you had one lately?
Look at you. Um,
I don't know. That popped in my head, so I put you on the spot.
mm, um, knowing there really is support. And yeah, I believe or I've heard that we are supported, call them spirit guides. They're, if you want to believe that there are a presence around us that supports us. If you want to believe it could be a relative that have passed on to the other side, but you feel their presence and you feel that they're there with you. Um, validation, maybe validation.
Validation.
I'm not a doubting Steve, but I'm just saying,
Do you feel like you're validated in the work that you do?
100%.
Well, that's good. Do you
Yeah.
feel like you're validated in your personhood?
To some extent, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We all have to deal with failures in our lives. We all have to, um, come to grips with choices we've made. And I know for me that was very difficult because the choices I made, I believe that even contribute. I don't know all the answers, but contributed to my struggle with depression too. Was just
Hmm.
all of the ch- wrong choices I made, not knowing, and this is for anyone that's listening, not knowing that all the wrong choices I made would make for a wonderful ministry to help others that have made wrong choices.
Well, I believe that I fully believe that
Mm,
you need to walk the walk before you can talk the talk.
it's
And
true.
you could one day say, life could
It's
have been
true.
fantastic. Everything's great. You have everything you need, want. I'm
It's
going to
true.
start a ministry. No, I got some time. Let me do that.
Yeah,
It's not going to be genuine. It's not going to be
you're right.
real
Yeah,
because you're not going to be able to
yeah,
empathize with others, what they're going through.
that's right.
And even right down to people that
That's right.
may not be on board,
Mm,
connecting with God.
that's right.
Um, you can guide them and maybe have them see that there's another way. And also back to your word, have the courage. Even if it's not even God connected, I'm just saying, have the courage to make the changes in your life, knowing
Yeah,
that you have
yeah,
faith in that
yeah,
somehow you are
yeah,
supported.
yeah.
And we have to come up with the courage every single day, I think.
We
Every
do,
day.
especially in this day and hour, right? It's a tough world right now.
Oh
It
yeah.
really is.
And what
And
what is
I,
what is the
mm,
courage? The courage to leave a relationship behind if it doesn't
mm,
support you. The courage to maybe you started a business, side hustle. Many of us do. Not
yeah,
working out. Maybe it's time to have the courage to put that aside and go in another direction because the universe, God, whoever, is showing you it's not yeah, you thought it was a good idea, maybe it's not working. All right, on to something else now. But the courage to make those changes. Nobody wants to make change. It's uncomfortable.
it is uncomfortable. And sometimes it's even the courage to get back up and try again
Well, that too.
the same thing, uh, and not give up on it. Um, yeah, yeah,
Well, there
In-
comes the faith and
yeah,
uh and
yeah,
and the faith in you as well.
yeah.
Not just saying,
Amen.
there's other things out there. No, you
Yeah,
have to have faith in
yeah,
yourself,
yeah,
and
yeah.
go within. We're just about out of time.
Okay. All
Um,
right.
ForshiaRoss.org is where one can find answers, one can find support. You have a wonderful website, and I'm not just saying that because we're here. It
Yeah,
is. It
Thank
is.
you.
I-
You perused it, have you? I'm sure you have to
Are
a
you
degree.
kidding? Are you kidding? There's something I can't put my finger on it, but there's just
Okay.
something about that website that
Mm,
gives hope. If you
yeah.
feel that
Mhm.
there is somebody who cares, or else you wouldn't have created it.
Yeah.
And certainly you're
That's
available too.
and that's also the place you can go. It's right on the homepage to find out about the Overcoming Depression Through Keys of Hope
Mm.
online workshop, actually. Yeah,
It's all there and some great videos.
it's all
And
there. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Forshia Ross, by the way, that's FORSHIAROSS.org. Thanks for being here today. Always appreciate
Oh,
you.
and have a great Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right. Look at that.
that's right.
A week
We'll
away.
see you next week.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Every day should be Thanksgiving. Practice gratitude, right?
Right. And eat a lot. That's what I say for one day.
For one day. All right. We'll
Yeah.
catch up
All
soon.
right. God bless.
Thanks again. You too.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.